Hello, how are you doing? We are on session 8, so that's like 2 months into this journey, or depending on how quickly you're rolling through it. Um, Session 8 is what, 2/3 of the way through. So congratulations. Let's take a moment to just reflect and see where we're at. Take a couple deep cleansing breaths and how's it going? What's going well? It's been a journey for sure, right? Dipping your toe into this whole realm of aligning with spirit and making the connection to your higher self. And really, I mean, healing a lot of trauma, which is hard, right? It's definitely something that um, it's not easy work, but it is so gratifying. And I just encourage you to keep going and keep the openness and keep loving. And yeah, here we are. So let's get into the content here. I'm going to share my screen. Um, okay. And so here we are, discovering what wants to be nourished. So we'll dive into the areas of your life that are craving nourishment, whether it's spiritual, emotional, or personal growth. Understanding what needs to be fed, you'll align more deeply with your purpose and well-being. We all kind of like have different needs and different desires, and often what wants to be nourished is what's undernourished, right? So we might have areas of our life that we're really good about taking care of and stuff, and maybe that'll shift too, right? So it's like as you get into this and everything, like say you're not taking enough time to go to the gym, right? Like you're not nourishing your body in that way to move your body and get the blood flowing and stuff. And so then you discover that as undernourished, you put the intention into making sure that you are nourishing that aspect of yourself. And then, a few months down the road, you realize, oh gosh, my like I don't rest enough. Like, I want to slow down and I want to nourish this part of myself. And so it ebbs and flows. This whole, like everything ebbs and flows. So it's all about finding that balance. So again, what's going well? This is such an important step for us to pause and reflect because what is going well? What has been working out for you? Taking notice to just all the progress that you've made, all the things that you've put this effort into, and what is working, what isn't working, what is aligning, what isn't aligning. Take the time to discover that and deepen into that. All right. So let's take a look at any obstacles you've faced in continuing with the relaxation and intuitive practices. Right. So maybe it's really hard for you to relax. Maybe it's really hard for you to just pause and sit in quiet, right? You find yourself maybe grabbing the phone when you're sitting in silence or when you're kicking your feet up. Like you might be continuing to distract yourself even when you're trying to find those moments of relaxation. So, what is getting in the way of that? What's getting in the way of your intuitive practice? Um, are intrusive thoughts getting in the way of that? Are like you not understanding what it feels like in your body, right? Like I often sit and I will sit still and I'll take, some nice cleansing breaths and stuff, and I'll ask myself, what does truth feel like? What does yes feel like? And really feeling that in my body, noticing my breath, noticing that cycle, giving it some time to process through my body. And then I'm like, okay, what does no feel like? What does false feel like? What does bad feel like? Noticing how my breath changes, right? Noticing how it feels in my body. Like maybe I start to get a headache. Um, and so just making sure that you're taking the time to relax and taking the time to really sit with that intuition. What feels true? You know, Often it's like if we're just like flowing. And really, I'll just tell you, the truth is always love. So anything that pops up, like if you're having intrusive thoughts and everything, and it's coming at you in a really negative light, not even a really negative light, even a kind of negative light, how is that landing for you? And I mean, that doesn't seem like truth to me. So what is happening for you? Have there been moments of resistance? What might need to shift for you to integrate these practices more smoothly into your daily life? Is it the distractions? Is it that you sit and you try to relax and stuff, but you find yourself wanting to be distracted because we're so used to being busy. We're so used to the go, go, go. I mean, that's just like, gosh, society, right? Everything is just like by the minute. We don't have enough time in the day because, well, we get used to filling up every single void with something, right? So, what needs to shift in order for you to integrate these practices more smoothly into your daily life? In times of overwhelm, what's the minimum action you can take that will still feel rewarding? So, when things are just crazy, when there isn't time to relax, when it's just too much because you had to go to work and then maybe you went to the gym and then you had to come home and make dinner and then you had to feed the animals and then you had to run an errand or maybe you forgot something at the grocery store. Like it's just too much. Like where can you find that space, the most minimum amount of space so that it can feel rewarding and then be grateful for that space, right? Like, I will pull up to the driveway and I'll sit in my car and I'll take a couple minutes to decompress a little bit, you know? But it would be all for nothing if I did that and then I still went in and felt like, I don't know, like resentment for not having time to decompress, right? Like, it's like, no, find gratitude in that. Okay, I know this is what I get right now. I know it's not ideal. I know it's not what I want. I know it's not perfect, you know, but how can you embrace that and appreciate it for what it is so that it feels rewarding? Okay. So let's explore the concept of spiritual hunger. Often when we crave food or distractions, it's a reflection of deeper unmet needs, right? I mean, if you crave like I mean, this was years ago, probably 20 plus years ago, it was like, oh, if you're craving chocolate, it really means you need strawberries. Or, if you're craving this, it means you need that. And it's kind of like comparing the nutrient factors in whatever it is that you're craving. So, we can do that same thing with spiritual hunger because it is that reflection. So emotional, spiritual, or creative hunger, right? Think about the times when you've used food or habits to fill a void. What were you truly craving in those moments? Um, I mean, and that's, I mean, we can still use food for our spiritual, like we might be craving, food or going to the refrigerator and opening it up, and it's like we're not even hungry in our belly, right? We're like craving something nourishing at a deeper level. And so what might that be? Like, are we having a sense of unworthiness? Do we need to take some time to like, work on our solar plexus and, find those traumas that are affecting our unworthiness? What is it? What are you searching for? What are you trying to fill that void with? Are you craving are you craving attention, you know? And you're like, I feel really lonely and I'm craving attention. Like, what is that? Why is that? Are you feeling unloved? What kind of work needs to be done and stuff? I mean, is it you or are you needing to dig into some, childhood traumas and do some healing there? So it's just kind of like it's digging a little deeper. Like, what is it that I'm actually trying to fill a void with, right? Or what is the void that I'm trying to fill, rather, by choosing to move through these habits. So, what were you truly craving in those moments? By recognizing this, we can shift our approach to self-care and nourishment, right? So the wheel of life, so this is super like effective for identifying these things, right? Because it's identifying what's undernourished, and then we can dig into like, okay, like how do we actually create nourishment in this area, right? So the wheel of life exercise helps us to visually map out the areas of your life that feel fulfilled and those that need more attention. So as you place a dot in each segment representing your satisfaction, you'll start to see which areas may need more nourishment, and you'll see which areas, feel really good that you get to celebrate. So once we map it out, we'll discuss how we can bring balance and growth to the areas closest to the center. So that's something that we can work on in our Zoom session. We can dig a little deeper and stuff. So a little bit of this will require some work on your end, right? To just, I mean, and this is a great opportunity for you to dig into your intuition too, because you can identify these things, identify these, undernourished areas, and then try to deepen into that. Like, what does that mean for you? Like, what does it mean to you? Like, say it's your, I don't know, relationship and it's really undernourished and stuff. What does that mean to you? What's undernourished about it? What are you missing? What are you hoping to get out of it? Start digging into these deeper questions and stuff so that we can start to uncover what's going on and how to heal it. So, and then based on what you've identified in the Wheel of Life, let's create specific action steps to nourish these areas. So, if your relationships feel neglected, consider setting aside time each week to connect with friends or family. If personal growth is an area you'd like to nurture, you might commit to a daily practice that aligns with your spiritual or creative passions. So let's take a moment to reflect on any insights you've gained from today's session, particularly around the Wheel of Life exercise. How do these insights shift your perspective on nourishment and fulfillment in your life? What are you most excited about to implement? As we close today, I encourage you to keep a journal and track how you feel as you implement these new practices. Of course, use your workbook, please. I find that really helpful as well. And then we're going to review your experiences in our next session. Sorry about that, where we'll deepen into conversation around spiritual and emotional nourishment. So I hope that you enjoyed this session. I'm going to try and stop the share. So yeah, um, we get to deepen into this, right? Like this is little bites we're taking to just keep getting deeper and deeper and uncover these things that are kind of holding us back from being our like most joyful selves. So I hope you enjoy. I can't wait to see you in our Zoom session. And I wish you well and I love you so much. And we'll talk soon.